With yours truly, Angela Petrilli, here with my friends at Fishman. We are live today. We are live today. And this is a song I am so incredibly honored to be teaching today. There are certain songs that just stop you in your tracks when you hear them. And when I heard this song, it was one of those that just stopped me in my tracks. Talk about an incredibly beautiful and well-written song. We're going to be learning a Gillian Welch tune. It's called Look at Miss Ohio. It is a stunning song. Again, very, very beautiful tune. So we're going to be learning this one today. So what we're going to do here is we're going to break this up into two different parts. So the first part, we're going to be in standard tuning, acoustic. And then the next part, there's some really beautiful slide lines. So we're going to be learning some slide guitar today too. So if you have a slide handy, we're going to have that other guitar, all right? That one's going to be in an open G tuning. And that tuning is going to be D, G, D, G, B, D. And we'll get to that point. It'll probably be at the halfway point of the lesson, just to let you know we're going to be doing two different things today. So again, really great stuff here. As you guys like to know, I love asking a question before we get started. So let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite singer-songwriter. Okay, so where you're tuning in from and your favorite singer-songwriter. So get ready for a really beautiful song today. This one's called Look at Miss Ohio by Gillian Welch. Here we go. Really pretty song. So we're going to be learning this one today. So yes, I'm sure some of you have already noticed, like, wait a second, Angela, you have a new guitar. This is a new guitar. I've had this one a while. This is a Martin SC13E. I'm going to be playing all the standard tune stuff on this one, and then my Martin 00017 and Black Smoke, I'll be doing all of the slide stuff. So again, we're going to be learning not only the stuff in standard, but also some of the slide lines that David Rawlings is playing on this tune as well. So again, great stuff. So before we get started, I want to see some of your favorite singer-songwriters. That is the question of the day and where you are tuning in from, and we're going to go ahead and get started. What I will say is this lesson is geared definitely towards the intermediates to the advanced folks. So good stuff. All right, let's see. So we got Belgium in the house. Thank you so much for being here. All right, we got Los Angeles, we got San Diego, Munich. Fantastic. Gordon Lightfoot, Carl is saying from Indiana, thank you so much. Got South Carolina in the house. David Bowie is a favorite from Jules in England, thank you so much. All right, Neil Young from Jean in Florida. This is great stuff. Thank you all so much. This is very, very cool. Very cool indeed. All right, guys, we'll keep putting in all that stuff in the comments. Rob, one of my favorites. Rob from Providence, Rhode Island is saying Patty Griffin. She's one of my favorites too. One of my favorites too, absolutely. So let's go ahead and get started here. What we're doing, okay, with the standard section, with the standard, chords that I was playing a moment ago, it's the same stuff over and over again. Verse and chorus, exactly the same. The one part that's a little bit different is an instrumental bridge. There's some really beautiful chords that go back between two of them. We'll talk about that. So let's go ahead. So what we've got here is the intro. So it looks and sounds like this. I'm going to play it a little bit slower than I did at the top. So here's what that intro sounds like. Like 95% of the song right there. So very cool chord choice in how to play this F chord. So when I was watching some videos of Gillian playing this particular song with this particular chord, she played her F chord like this. And if you notice, I got the thumb hanging over here, all right? So I know for some of you, the thumb is a little bit uncomfortable, but for some of us, it feels really good. Like this kind of grip, to me, actually feels really, really comfortable. But it does take a little time to adjust. So I'll show you what's happening here. So we're getting our first finger, replacing that on C, the first fret of the B string, second finger, second fret of the G string, which is A. You're gonna reach up with your third finger, placing that on the third fret, the A string. That's our C note. And then you're gonna get your fourth finger, placing that third fret, D string, F. So right there, without the thumb, and we're not gonna play the high E. We don't need it here, okay? So this here, if we were just to leave this as is, that's an F over C. Beautiful chord. However, she's choosing to put her thumb up here, which now makes it an F major, okay? So we're not gonna strum the high E string. We're only gonna strum the E string, the low E string, through the B string. Just like that. Now, if this is uncomfortable for some of you, no problem. Could you play this as an F bar chord without hitting that high E string? Absolutely, but we're keeping to how Gillian plays it. She does it like this, okay? So just like that. Now, from there, we're gonna strum very, very lightly. This isn't an aggressively strummed song. It's nice and light, okay? So when I'm strumming here, and I'm someone who likes to strum from the elbow, if you're someone who likes to strum from the wrist, super cool, okay? Again, whatever brings you closer to your musical journey as you're playing, all good. We're gonna do here. See how it's really, really light? I'm not digging. So it's a down, down, up. On that, when I do that upstroke, I'm gonna play an F sus. 2 chord, which sounds like that. Beautiful chord, right? All we are doing here is we're gonna lift up this middle finger, okay? So that G string will be open. So if I play all of these notes in this chord, it'll sound like this. It's an F sus 2. Beautiful chord, isn't it? Okay, so just like that. So we're going from F that F sus 2. See how I lifted and then the chord sounds different. Okay, so let's do that again a couple times here. Again, a really beautiful chord choice. Why we play it in this fashion, right? We're not playing it as a bar chord. It's a little bit tougher to get that suspended, that open G string when we're as a bar chord, all right? So that's why I encourage you to try and grip it this way to get that sus 2 chord. All right, let's go ahead and do this again. Okay, so that's the F to the F sus 2. Now what we're gonna do here, we're gonna leave our first finger where it is. Okay, so that C note is gonna stay there. What we're gonna do, okay, we're gonna play a C over G. So bring your third finger up to the third fret of the E string. That's our G note. Fourth finger is going to play C at the third fret of that A string. And our second finger is going to move up to the second fret of the D string. We're going to go ahead and play this chord. We're going to strum every single string. Beautiful chord, isn't it? All right, so that's what we're going to do there from that F sus 2. Now, if we wanted to lift our second finger yet again to make this a C sus 2 over G, we can absolutely do that. And that sounds like this. we have that open D string. C in context, C sus2. Putting that second finger down, second fret of the D string, and now we have that C over G. Beautiful, isn't it? So, what we're going to do here, we're going to go back and forth from the F to the F sus2 to the C over G, C sus2. All right, so nice and slowly here. Here we go from the top. So see how we went from sus2 to C, back to sus2. Let's do that again. Again. Beautiful series of chords. Let's bring a little bit of speed here. And one more time. Now, we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a break now, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to play a G chord. And we're going to play like this. Pretty simple way to play it. We're going to get our third and fourth finger. Our third finger is going to go on the third fret of that E string. Okay, that's our G note. And then we're going to get our fourth finger on the other G note, third fret, the high E string. And that's it. Now, you may be asking, well, wait a second, do I need the B note here? Not necessarily. We want it to sound nice and open like this. And naturally what happens is when we're gripping that G note there in this way, your third finger naturally mutes that A string. So this is a good thing. So you can feel free to strum and it will naturally mute that A string. Okay? So that's going to sound like this. Isn't that great? Really cool way to play a G chord. Okay? So now let's go ahead in context. The F and the sus to the C sus to C, back to C sus, and then to this G chord. Okay, so here we go. Good stuff, right? Let's do that again. And notice how that third finger, you just keep it there. Let's do that again. One more time. Let me do that again. Good stuff, isn't it? Really pretty chords here. So now after this, we're gonna go to an A minor. Yes, okay, another beginner-friendly chord here. First finger, first fret of that B string, that's a C note. Second finger, second fret of the D string, that's E. Third finger, second fret of the G string, that's A. We're going to strum everything from the A string downward. That A minor chord should sound like this. Just like that. Okay? And again, nice light strumming here. It's going to be a down, down, up thing. Okay? So. And again, nice and light. From here, we're going to be doing a bit of a walk down. So you can choose to get your fourth finger and play that G string, or that G note rather, then back to the F chord. So in context, that will sound like this. I'm going to play it from the G chord. Okay, so see what I mean here. I can also grab that with my third finger as well. So I will leave that option to you. You could play the A minor or like an A minor 7 and then grab with that third finger if it's more comfortable either way. All right, so I'm going to again give that in context from the top. Okay, so here we go. And now let's do that again, this time gripping with that third finger from the A minor. Let's go ahead and do that again. So either way, all right, let's do that one more time. Back to that F, to the F sus, to C over G, to that C sus, back to G. Okay, so that's the next bit. And something she does here that's really beautiful is this little thing that goes right after the G chord, and it sounds like this. Nice little suspension. What we're going to do there, it's like a sus4, if you will, here. I'm going to get that first finger, putting it on the first fret, the B string. It's a C note, okay? Pressing it down on that upstroke, go ahead and release it, all right? So in context, the whole thing sounds like this. And again, we are covering intro, we are covering verse, we are covering chorus with all of these chords, all right? So here we go again from the top. Sus. Let's do that again from the top. F. Sus. Let's repeat this again. And one more time. Here we go. F. C over G. G. A minor walk down. F. C over G. G sus. All right. There we go. So the next tail end of this, we're going to go to F, to C over G, to G, that little G suspension. And Dwayne, we're live today. We're live. And if you're enjoying the lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel too. It helps the cause, folks. All right, so again, the tail end of this, we're going to go to that F, to C over G, to G, that little sus at the end. All right, so those are the parts here. Again, those two parts. Let's go ahead now and play through the whole thing. And we'll look at the instrumental bridge and the chords that are played there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to switch. I'm going to go back to my Black Smoke Martin, and we're going to be playing some slide, you guys. Yes, we're going to be playing some slide live. I'm very excited to be teaching this stuff to you. Again, some really beautiful lines that David Rawlings does on here. So let's go ahead now from the top. All right, this is the standard tuning section. Here we go. Thanks, Dean. Appreciate it. Click that like button, guys. It helps the cause. It helps the cause. All right, so here we go from the top. Now to F, C over G. G. Repeat. So that F to C to G, that's the part where she says, well, I wanna do right, but not right now. Just to give a little context, all right? So that's what's happening there. Now, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna look at the instrumental bridge, okay? And it is 2 chords. So what they are is it's A minor, and an F sharp diminished. Don't freak out. It looks like this. And it is a beautiful chord. This is just one way to play it. I'll show you another way that's even easier to play. So we've got an A minor here. And again, nice and light. Remember the target notes we need to make this chord, A, C, and E. So next, we're playing a diminished chord. We don't see them all the time, but man, when they are placed in a beautiful spot, they just sound lovely. So switching from that F sharp diminished to that A minor, we want to do here to make this as easy as possible. We're going to leave that first finger where it is, that C note, okay? Now what we're going to do here is we're going to drop that second finger. That is now going to play the A note on the second fret of the G string, okay? Your pinky finger is going to reach over. For some of you, this may be a little bit tough, but I encourage you to stick with it. Keeping that thumb in the middle of the neck is going to help a lot. Notice how you cannot see my thumb. If my thumb's up here, see how my hand begins to shrink? We don't want that. Thumb, middle of the neck, allows the fingers to stretch quite nicely. Okay, so we can get that F sharp with our pinky, which is on the 4th fret of that D string. So it should sound like this. Okay, so not the prettiest of chords, but man, in this progression, it just so works. It's really beautiful. So let's first talk about, you know, I always say like 1 flat 3-5 makes a minor and 1 3-5 makes a major. Well, diminished has a formula too, and that formula is going to be a 1 flat 3 flat 5. Okay, so it comes from the F sharp major, right, which has an F sharp, an A sharp, and a C sharp. And what happens here, if we want to make that F sharp major and F sharp diminish, what we do is we make the A sharp an A, and we make the C sharp A, C. And that's what's happening here. Okay, so just like that. Now, you can kind of do, and when I was listening to this, sometimes I heard that high E, which is kind of pretty. What you can also do here, if this is a little tough right now, you can also do this. Keep the A minor and place your thumb on the F sharp there and strum all the strings. You could do that too. So you've got this one with the stretch, and then you've got this one. Both will work. Both are cool, both sound great. So I wanted to give you guys the option there. So that's what's happening in the instrumental bridge. When I'm playing it, it sounds like this, and this instrumental bridge happens twice. Or at least this goes back and forth twice. So it sounds like this. And this is the part where a lot of the slide stuff is happening. A lot of the solos are happening in this spot. So I'm going to do that again. And you can pick out some of those notes in that diminished chord. Let's do that again. And now with the one rooted, where we have the F sharp up here. Kind of hear that too in that song. Again, if you don't know this song, oh, be sure to go listen to it. It's so beautiful. So that's the whole tune. In standard tuning, at least. So I'm going to give you context again before we switch over to slide, playing it in open G, and it sounds like this. So here's the intro, and play it along. We're going to do a verse, same chords. Now here comes that instrumental. Reach for that diminished chord. One more time. we go to another verse from there. All right, so that's what's happening. Again, really, really beautiful song. That's what's happening in standard tuning. So my beginners who are watching are like, okay, that's good, I got it. Have fun with this. Really, really beautiful song. If you're a little nervous about playing the slide, no problem. You can still watch this though. It's pretty cool. So that's what's happening in standard. I'm now going to switch back to the guitar that all of you know. Okay. So the Black Smoke Martin here, which I have in open G tuning. So switching over. All right. So there we go. Open G tuning should sound like this. E string down to D. A string down to G, D string as is, G string as is, B string, leave it as is, and the E string, drop it to D. So that will sound like this. We're not going to be playing the low E string, by the way. And also, I want to mention this, I'm going to call the strings by their standard tuned names just to keep things easier for all of us, okay? So that's what's happening there. And also, too, want to mention, good time to say, hey, if you're enjoying the lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause. You want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including the R Spectrum DI, the little silver box you hear me talking about at every lesson. I love them. They're great. Also, check out the AFX pedals. Pretty rad stuff. Go to the link in the video description, and you're going to see all that. Steve Harvey, I see you. Hello, my friend. I see you. I see you. Good to see you, buddy. All right, so what we're going to do here is now we're going to get a slide. So I like brass slides when I play. There are many different kinds. There are glass, you have steel, you have ceramic, you have all sorts of kinds of slides. This is what I like to use. So this is just me. I like to place it on my third finger when I play. You see a lot of people use their second finger. See a lot of people play with their fourth finger. Everything sounds great. So it is at your comfort level in what you like when you're playing. Reasoning behind why I like it on the third finger is I like to use my first and second to play notes behind the slide sometimes, and also mainly to use it as a buffer behind the slide. I will tell you what I mean by that. So we've got it in open G tuning. Have a listen here. That's an F chord, a C chord, and a G chord that I'm playing with a slide. It's pretty neat stuff. So what I mean by playing behind the slide with these two fingers, this is what I mean. If I was to release and not have those fingers behind the slide, see how it starts to sound a little buzzy? Okay? When I put the fingers behind the slide, this is what I want you to do. I just want you to rest them on the strings. Don't press. And that's another thing with slide 2. Don't press. Let the weight of the slide do the work for you. Okay, if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, let the weight of the slide do the work for you. With slide 2, something else I want you to take away from this that's a little bit different from when we're playing, with our fingers on the fretboard. We want to get right on top of the fret, okay? Right on top of the fret. If we are right behind the fret, notice when I play this F chord here, I'm right behind the fret, okay? It's a little out. I got to get it right on top of that 10th fret. Massive difference, right? Here's just behind the fret. And there's right on top. Hear the difference? I'm going to do that again. That's the importance of being right on top of the fret. And notice here too, these two fingers here, buffering the sound, so I'm getting a nice clean. Okay, so that's the importance. Those are the two things. If you take two things away from this slide lesson today, it's that, okay? Let's get to it. Okay, so what we have here, and this is gonna be at the 8-second mark of the tune, all right? And I'm someone too, I'm using a pick here, but I usually don't use a pick when I play slide. You can choose to play, use a pick if you want. I like to use my fingers when I'm playing slide. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the intro slide riff at the 8-second mark, okay? So it's gonna sound like this. Beautiful, beautiful riff. So, getting some questions here, and I encourage you guys, it's live Q&A, so if you have questions about slide and all that good stuff. I see Reckless575, he's the unofficial secretary of the Riff Rundown. Thanks for keeping everybody in tune and letting them know what the question is. Reckless575, I appreciate it. Let's see, Mary Kay is asking, what is a good type of slide to start with? One that sounds good to you. I like one that is not too tight. This is just me. I don't like a slide that is too incredibly tight on my finger. I do like a little bit of wiggle room, as you can see here. See how the slide moves a little bit? I like that. I don't like a slide that's too tight because sometimes your finger can get a little sweaty. I do like to bend my finger ever so slightly inside the slide. This is just me. So that's what I like. I like the sound of brass, which is why I use it. You can go ahead and listen to see the differences between glass and steel and brass. But to me, this is so my favorite sound on acoustic and electric when I'm playing slide. So I would say when you're buying a slide, Mary, get one that's has a little bit of wiggle room, nothing too tight. And usually at music stores, you can ask if you could try it on first. I definitely suggest that you do that. So yeah, that is my answer to that question. Tom is asking, does the slide go directly over the fret? I don't want to wear my frets out. Tom, excellent question here. You're getting on top of the fret. We're not pressing down on the fret. We're just getting on top. Think of those frets now as markers. The second we put this slide on our finger, this becomes our movable fret. These frets now on the guitar are just our markers, okay? So you're not pressing down. Notice when I press down on the fret, hear that? It gets buzzy. I don't want that. So right on top of the fret, do not press, okay? Do not press. Tom, excellent question. Excellent, excellent question. So on top of the fret, okay? So the first riff here, what we're gonna do, okay? We've got our muting fingers, our first and second finger here. We have our third finger ready to go with the slide, okay? Right on top of the fret. We want to stay, right, parallel. We don't want to be doing this, okay? We want the slide to match the straightness of the fret. So we're going to slide from the 9th fret. We're going to strike the D string, G string, and B string. We're going to slide from the 9th, moving up to the 10th. Okay. And I kind of like to pinch. So I've got my thumb hitting the D string and I'm pinching upwards, striking upwards with my first and second finger on the B string and the G string, okay? And remember, don't press. Get right on top of those frets. Okay, so that's what happens there. We're playing that F chord. From there, we're going to get this slide, go to the 3rd fret of the B string, sliding to the 5th fret, striking with your first finger. Don't forget to have these buffers in the back. Get right on top of the fret. Don't press. Again. Again. Just like that. Okay, one more time. And use those buffers. Don't press with these fingers either. They're just resting on top of the strings. From there, strike the 5th fret of that high E string and give it just a little wiggle, okay? Just like that. Again. And don't worry, we're not going to wear out our frets because we are not pressing down with this slide. From there, open E string. And what we're going to do here, this takes a little bit of finesse, all right? We're going to get our slide, placing it on the 5th fret of the B string, bringing it back ever so slightly, almost to the 4th fret, and then resolving 5th fret of the G string. Give it a little bit of a wiggle. And remember, don't press. Keep that slide nice and parallel that fret. Again, from the top. Nice little riff, isn't it? It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Let's go ahead and do that again. Nice little wiggle. It's good stuff. One more time. And I did a really big slide there, but slide from the 9th fret. Okay, so just like that. So that is the first line. Great job, everybody. Let me know how everybody's doing with the slide. I know this is new territory for us. And once you get comfortable in getting all those notes, is really good ear training, by the way. Getting right on top of that fret, making sure the note sounds nice and clear and is at the perfect pitch. Once you get comfortable, then you can include some of those vibrato slides. Because again, we can't like bend, right? So those little vibratos there, that back and forth, that little wiggle, that's how we bend with slide. Good stuff, right? So that's the first little riff. We see that at the 8-second mark of this tune, all right? So when we are playing over the chords in the verses, which we talked about, remember, the F and then that C and that G, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna play them with the slide, and we only need one finger to do this. So we're using the slide, 3rd fret, remember, or 3rd finger rather. 1st and 2nd finger are our buffers. Our F chord is going to be at the 10th fret of the D, G, and B string. Just like that. Our C chord is going to be at the 5th fret of the D, G, and B string. And remember, we want to get right on top of that fret. If we're just behind, see what I mean? Makes a huge difference right on top of that fret. And G is just going to be the open G, B, and E string, but remember our E string is tuned down to D. So that right there is an automatic G chord. We don't have to do anything. Pretty cool, right? So that's what's happening there. Okay, let's do this now. So we've got F to C to G. Let's do that again. And give it a little wiggle to G. Now, those of you who know your theory and all that stuff, well, couldn't you play the G chord all the way up here at the 12th fret of the E, B, and G string? Yes, you can. Sounds a little higher, but it sounds kind of cool. I'll give you that option. Here's what that sounds like. F, C, G. Again, F, C, G. Now with a little more slide. Pretty cool, right? Awesome stuff. So that's what's happening there. If you want to play along to some of the chords in the verses and the chorus, that's how you do it. And Dave Rawlings has some really cool little lines. So we're going to go through some of those instrumental lines, those lines that are happening during the instrumental bridge. Remember that A minor to that F sharp diminished. That's where a lot of this stuff is happening. All right. So the first one that we see here, let me look at my notes. It is going to be at the 1 minute, 4 second mark. okay? So this is at the 1 minute 4 second mark. This line sounds like this. Let me do that again. Then we have so that's what's happening there, okay? So let's go ahead and talk through these. So what we're gonna do here, okay, slide. 4th fret of that B string, remember, buffer fingers here, sliding it to the 5th fret of that B string. And we only want that note. We don't want to hear the other stuff. That's why these buffer fingers come in handy. Okay. We're going to do now an open E string. So again, from there, G string, 4th fret to 5th fret, slide, open G string, now to 4th fret D string, give it a little wiggle, sliding to the 5th fret of the G string. I'm going to play that again without the commentary. Here we go, nice and slow. Again. And one more time. Keep wanting to hit that A string. Let me do that again. So that's the line, all right? The next one sounds like this. Okay, and here's how we do that. Same couple notes as the top of the other one, right? Sliding from the 4th fret of the B string to the 5th fret. Not pressing with that slide, using those buffer fingers. Again, I'm choosing to play my strumming hand with my fingers here. Sliding from the 4th fret to the 5th fret of the B string. Now 4th fret to the 5th fret to the G string. Nice little wiggle at the end for a little sustain. Let's do that again. Open G string, 4th fret D string. Getting that slide there. Okay, let's do that section by itself first. Again. One more time. Now, from there, we have a really cool line, and it sounds like this. We're going to get our slide here, okay? 4th fret of that G string to the 5th fret, just like that, right on top of the frets, to the 3rd fret B string, to the 5th fret, to the 8th fret, and then we're going to go ahead and hit the 10th fret 2 times. And if you want to play the F chord, you can do that too. All right? So, nice and slowly here from the top. Again, here we go. Let's do that again. And last time, here we go. Now, in context, here's the entire solo that we see in the 1 minute, 4 second mark of that tune. Nice and slowly, here we go. Or from the top, let me do that again. Part 2. So that's what's happening there. Cool stuff, right? So that's what it is. So now we're going to do here, this is the final solo that we see at the 2 minute and 3 second mark. All right, so this one sounds like this. Let me do that again. Really, really beautiful, beautiful slide solo. So let's go ahead and break it down step by step here. I've got it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts, okay? And let me know, how's everybody doing with the slide? Don't press. If there's anything I can say, don't press on the strings. Let it float. Let it slide. Let it slide. All right? So let's go ahead and do this here. From the top section, okay, so this is section 1 of that solo, again at the 2 minute and 3 second mark. Oh, I also want to say too, I released an EP last week. I'm going to put the link up here, everybody. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the top of the solo. Wanted to mention that before we went into this. Gonna get our slide here. Sliding from the 2nd fret of the D string to the 3rd fret and going back to the 2nd fret, open D string, sliding to the 2nd fret. Okay, let's do that again, nice and slowly here. And again. All right, one more time. Notice that's sustained, pretty cool, right? When you let it wiggle. All right, so that's the first one. The next line sounds like this, just 3 notes, okay? And all we're gonna do there, getting that slide 5th fret of that D string to the 7th fret, and then slide 5th fret of the G string. Okay, let's go ahead and do this again. So let's do those 2 lines, part 1, part 2. Here we go. Part 2. Let's do that again. Give that a little wiggle at the end, 5th fret of that G string. One more time. Okay, now part 3 sounds like this. Again, staying in the 5th fret and 7th fret general area, all right? 5th fret of the G string, sliding to the 7th fret, just like that. Staying parallel, do not press. Now we go to the 5th fret of the B string. Now 5th fret of the high E. And then we're going to slide up to the 7th fret. And we're going to play that note 3 times. All right? Okay, let's go. Let's do it again. Again. Last time. Now let's combine. Parts 1, 2, and 3. All right, everybody. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. I'm seeing the comments here. Keep it up. You can do this. Here we go. From the top. Part 2. Part 3. Now part 4 sounds like this, sliding from that 7th fret. Okay, really beautiful line. So we ended part 3 at the 7th fret of the high E. We're going to get that note and now slide it to the 10th fret. And remember those muted fingers, get right on top of that 10th fret. Going back now to the 9th fret. Sliding up to the 10th fret. And resolving their 10th fret of the B string. So in context sounds like this. We're going to play that 9th fret twice. Let's do that again. All right. So now let's go back. Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here we go. Part 2. Part 3. Part 4. Okay. Now part 5 is going to sound like this. Okay, just like that. So, getting that slide, 9th fret of the high E to the 10th fret to the 12th fret, then playing our F chord, 10th fret of the B, G, and D string, sliding from the 9th fret. Give it a wiggle, C chord to our G chord, open strings. Okay, let's do that again without the commentary. Just like that, all right? We're gonna do this one more time, then we're gonna give it context and combine it with the other 4 parts, okay? Again, click that like button if you're enjoying the lessons. Subscribe to the channel, folks. Would love it if you did. Here we go, part 5. All right, here we go. Parts 1 through 5, using the slide. Let's do this. Part 2. Part 3. Part 4. Part 5. Okay, there it is. Now part 6, all right? Oh, it's good stuff. How we feeling on the slide, everybody? How we feeling? So, part 6 is going to sound like this. This is a really fun little line. Okay, so this sounds like this. Little open string action happening here. We're going to get this slide. Okay, we're going to kind of play it at an angle, getting that 5th fret of the B string. And remember, don't press. B string, 5th fret, and then open E string. Okay? And then we're going to do 5th fret wiggle on that G string, and then open B string. Okay, so. Just like that. And then we're sliding 5th fret to the 7th fret of that D string. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and combine parts 1 through 6. Here we go. Part 2. Part 3. Part 4. Part 5. Part 6. All right, so that's what's happening there, part 6. Now we have the final part, part 7, okay? So what we're gonna do here, 5th fret of the D string, that's what it sounds like. Let's go ahead and play it. Glad to see a lot of people are hanging in. I love it, I love it, I love it. Great job, everybody, great job. Stick with it, one more part here, and we're gonna call it a day, folks. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel, everybody. All right, 5th fret of that D string to the 2nd fret of the D string, and you're gonna pull off open D string. Just like that. All right, so just like that. Okay, one more time. Now, 5th fret of the A string, open D string, open A string, and open G string. Let's do that nice and slowly. Again. Let me do that again. Again. And then we go into the verse. All right, then from there. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and do the solo a couple times here. Again, this is the solo at the 2-minute, 3-second mark. All right, so here we go. From the top. Part 2. Part 3. Part 4. Part 5. Part 6. Part 7. There it is, folks. Fun stuff, right? Just a little bit of slide. I figured it'd be kind of fun today. So that is our slide lesson, folks. I know a lot of you have been asking. So this lesson, you can rewind it on YouTube and all that good stuff. something you maybe missed during the live, you can go and rewatch this again and again. I encourage you. Playing slide's a lot of fun, and this is a fun song to do that with. So again, just want to say thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I love all of the kindness in the comment section. Thank you all for being so wonderful and inspiring and just really kind to one another on the comment section. Know that I see that, and I think it's really cool. I love the community that we're building here. So thank you all so much for that. I know this was a hard one today. I've done some easy ones this last couple weeks, so I figured that we're gonna do a tough one this week live. So it's good for you. It's good for you. Again, thank you all just so much. If you haven't checked out my new EP, I'm gonna put it in the comments. I've got merch too. I've got like signed posters and stuff, and the signed posters, half of the proceeds are going to charity. So, and I ship those posters worldwide. So if you'd like one, I'd love to sign one and know that, you know, half of the proceeds are going to a really good cause. So yeah, good stuff. And glad you guys are enjoying the EP. Also too, if you're in Nashville, folks, I will be playing some shows in Nashville the week, let's see, so June 21st, June 23rd, and June 24th of 2023. So if you are in Nashville, stop by a gig, say hello. All of the ticket links and all of that good stuff is on my website, AngelaPetrillimusic.com. Again, I want to say thanks to the folks at Fishman for helping me do these week after week. They're really good folks, and they have some really great acoustic gear that I just absolutely love, and electric gear too. So be sure to check that out in the video description, all the gear I use for these lessons. So shout out to my friends at Fishman. They're really great. And yeah, I would love it if you checked out the EP, left the link in the comments and all that good stuff. You could check it out, and would love if you bought some merch. It helps us indie musicians, so I appreciate it. All right, everybody, have fun. Good times with this lesson. I know it was a tough one, but it's going to help you grow. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you guys live next week.